This is something really weird. Hey guys, it's Bob Ferngren, and I'm back. And my heart, my desire, really, it's my prayer, is to help folks who are getting near their 50s or in their 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s live the best part of their life, the second part of their life. Wouldn't that be great? Hopefully that's all of you. But this probably sounds a little weird, but as I was building my direct sales business, I realized I'm about 20 years older than the people I'm recruiting in their 20s. I recruited tons of people from 20 to 28. That was the bulk of it. And now they've all gone on and been successful in other things, thank God. But I couldn't relate to them at first. I mean, I had kids that were their age, but I couldn't relate to them. So what did I start doing? I started listening to the music they listened to. Some of it I really, really liked, but I listened to it. I started going places where younger people were. I started hanging out with younger people. I started listening, where their head was at and their hopes and dreams and what they wanted to do. I visited families all over the country that were young families with, maybe some of them had kids, maybe single people. I was hanging out with single people in Pittsburgh and New York and Connecticut and, Montana, California, all over the country. Single young people that really you got to get to know. I couldn't recruit people unless I knew what was important to them. I couldn't relate to them, and so I changed. And this isn't a story about going out and hanging out with younger people, but it is a story of if you want something, in that case, I wanted to make millions of dollars a year, and I eventually did. I made millions of dollars a year for consecutive years, and how I did that was I related to people that I would normally never even associate with. I got to know them. I talked their language. I didn't dress like them, but I didn't dress like an old man. I'm not an old man. I'm 71 years old, and I'm not an old man. So I wasn't going to be an old man back then. And here's my point to all of this is, look at what you're doing. If you want a certain outcome, and in almost every case it involves dealing with other people and serving other people, then you've got to understand those people. You've got to know where they're coming from. It doesn't mean anything about changing your values. It doesn't mean anything about, doing something you really don't like to do. I mean, there's a lot of things that younger people do that are pretty cool. I mean, younger people are typically more athletic, and I've been an athlete since I was 12 years old. I didn't say I was a great athlete. I said I was an athlete. Younger people are into music and stuff like that. Well, I've always loved music. I used to run nightclubs. So, I adapted and learned what they learned. And it doesn't mean that I was going and hanging out in nightclubs. But here's what it really meant. It meant that I was willing to do whatever it took to make those $1 million a year. Because I knew the impact I could have with that $1 million a year, and it certainly wasn't me. And let me tell you, God gets all the glory for what's about ready to come out of my mouth and anything good that's happened in my life. I was tithing 10% and giving 10%, which I still do today. So you think about that when I say I was making millions of dollars a year, how much I was giving. And again, I don't want the glory. It's God gets the glory. But if you can't do things without money in the United States of America, and if you want money, but you keep doing what you're doing, you will never get what you want. But something you can get for absolutely free. Here it is. It's absolutely free, and it's the ultimate game changer. Accept Jesus Christ as your personal Savior if you've not yet. Hey, God bless. Have a great day.